Shibuya incident, the Culling games. Both of these incidents, well, events, have one thing in common, which is death. Or you can say a low chance of survival. But in this video, I wanted to actually sit down, break down the medics. You feel me? Which one could you survive, or which one was way worse? Could you have a chance of getting out alive? But chances are, if you end up in one of these situations as a civilian, as a no-name jujutsu sorcerer,
who the fuck is that guy?
You're pretty much fucked. So like, comment, and subscribe to the video, and let's get straight into it, man. So first things first, we start off with the Shibuya incident. You feel me? The Shibuya arc, in which the biggest thing to come out of Shibuya is Satoru Gojo's ceiling. That's the biggest thing to come out of Shibuya, right? And after that, we got two types of death that we're going to be counting, and then we total them. The main people that we know in Jujutsu Kaisen and the civilians. So we're going to start off with Gojo versus the disaster curses. Now in that fight, we saw that some civilians were killed, right? And then Hanami died in the end. And they were banking on Gojo, like lowballing himself because they were civilians. But he didn't do that, and he smacked all of them, right? Right after that fight, right? Mahito pulls up. Now Mahito was in a train full of human civilians. Now I did a few math. Some people say it's around 1,000 people who got transfigured into curses. Now, are we going to count all those people, bro? Nah, because they're now just curses, right? But those people were transfigured into curses, and then Gojo killed them in his domain expansion, right? And then after that fight, we go to Sukuna versus Jogo. Now, nobody, I feel like this, right? This is an estimation. I'm going off the dome and say some people were killed in that fight. Cause no way Jogo was literally going full power, bro. Dropping freaking meteorites from the sky and nobody died, bro. Well, that small event that happened whereby the Sukuna clap thing happened, you can say. You feel me? You can say. So I'm gonna say a few people died there. Now, also one thing to notice, a lot of civilians were evacuated from the Shibuya. You feel me? Like they were evacuated by sorcerers. So not a lot of people got killed. But we'll go to another major fight, which was Sukuna versus Maharaga. And in that fight, bro, we saw it, bro. We saw my boy Sukuna pop his domain and people getting killed, getting turned into shish kebabs left and right. All of them guys got killed, right? So now, after that, bro, I don't think there's nothing more. I'm now going to talk about like people who died, and there were like 15 major fights happening at once in that shit, right? So the main people we know, the main cast of Jujutsu Kaisen who died were my goats, my righteous king, Nanami, Haruta, that arm, the disaster curses, all of them died. Mahito, Naobito, Zenin, Toji, and if there's somebody I'm missing, you can comment down below. Now, the total of people who died, aka civilians, in the main cast is 1,000 people who died in Shibuya. So Shibuya was pretty hectic. You know what I'm saying? It was scary to be in Shibuya, bro. And I think that's it. If there's something I'm missing, you can comment down below. Also, side note, while I was editing, I forgot to mention this and say that Kenjaku in the Shibuya incident also released 10 million curses, bro. Crazy amount. I wish I had that amount as money, but he released those curses which carried on over into Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. That's all I have to say. The Culling games, the recent arc we're in from Season 3 going to Season 4. Now, I'm not going to deep dive into spoilers because I know some of y'all are waiting for Season 4 and hype, and I'm not gonna do that. You feel me? So first things first, the summary of all fights that happened in the Culling games is around 14 to 16. You feel me? That like those were the only fights that happened in the Culling game. Now 1,000 sorcerers were entered into the game. The number of civilians in the Culling games is not specified. You feel me? And then when it comes to the system, right, we're gonna get into the mathematical side before we get into the kills, right? And in the system, right, one sorcerer is equal to 5 points, and one civilian is equal to 1 point. You feel me? That's the gist of the mythical side of the Culling games. And when it comes to the killings, right, when we get into like the top 3 people with the most points in the Culling games, it was Kashimo, and Kashimo had 200 points. Higuruma had 100 points, and Yuta Okosu had 190 points. And when it comes to like the people, the amount of people they killed, right, it was Kashimo had 200 points, which equaled to 40 sorcerers killed. Higuruma had 100 points, which equaled to 20 sorcerers killed. Now, is this math accurate? Maybe. You can comment down below if I'm saying something wrong. And now we get into Yuta Okosu, who was a special case because he only killed one sorcerer and got the other points transferred from the other people he killed but resurrected. You feel me? Ryu Ishigori and the girl were resurrected, right? Now, when it comes to most people or sorcerers who were killed, the main sorcerers who were killed in season 3 were Druve and Reggie Stars. Other sorcerers who were going to get killed in season 4, I'm not gonna say their names, right? But I think that's it. Nothing crazy. And the number of civilians who were killed in Culling games is not specified. But so far, I'm getting 60 sorcerers were killed in total. You know what I'm saying? And the most chaotic fight in the Culling games is probably the Sendai colony. But I think that's it. If there's something I'm missing or something I haven't talked about, you can comment down below. But that's it for the Culling games. We have done our research on both the Culling games and Shibuya incident. And I'm gonna say this, Shibuya incident wins this competition by a mile. Now the two categories are which one was worse and which one could you survive. You feel me? In which one was way worse? We all know it was Shibuya, bro. Because listen, 1,000 people died and 1,000 people got turned into transfigured human beings, bro. If you're not going to be killed by Mahito, you're either going to be caught up in Sukuna versus Maharaga, bro. You're going to be turned into a shish kebab in that fight, bro. And then when it comes to the Culling games, nothing crazy happened to the civilians, right? It was, you either had to stay out of the barriers, and if you're a sorcerer, bro, 9 times out of 10 you're going to survive that, right? But in Shibuya, whether you're a civilian or a sorcerer, you are not going to survive that, bro, because they were just higher people fighting. So the Shibuya is my overall answer on both categories. If you disagree or you agree, you can comment down below. Thank you guys for the support. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Peace.